Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, another video here. Yesterday I was driving, my car just stopped blowing hot air, so I was thinking that it could be the thermostat, because I didn't see the temperature reading spiked up. However, after I came back, I then went back later on to get my son from school. All those time I was trying to see if it will come back by itself, but didn't see any spike in the temperature gauge. But when I was coming back from school with my son, I wasn't really looking at the temperature gauge. And when I stopped, I think I stopped being a car or something, and then I see a lot of smoke or steam or whatever it is. So I came home and decided to take a look in the engine bay. I realized there was like some wetness down in there. So I dig around. I took the cover off, which is over there. So I said, so when I was looking at this reservoir, there was still enough coolant in there. I was like, what coolant is? So me looking here, thinking that coolant is going to be in the radiator, realizing that there was I think they got a hose that's burst behind there, because that's where the spraying was coming from. So whilst I was checking, I checked this hose right here, and it wasn't hot. I was like, how is it? How this hose not hot? It seems like the engine was overheating all that time, but it wasn't hot. I didn't drive long enough for it to get well hot and overheated. So and there was probably enough coolant to cool the engine whilst I was driving back then. So, but anyway, so I think when I went for my son and come back, that's the last of the coolant that was inside the radiator and was spraying out behind there. So what I did, because I didn't feel no heat here, I'm thinking that when I touched this, it wasn't hot. So I said, I'm going to open it because it's not hot. So, and I opened it, dry, bone dry. Let me get this light on so you can see down in there. Look at that, bone dry. So I said, let me put some coolant in there to test. And whilst I was putting the coolant down in there, it was just taking it until it just started coming up. So I said, let me check the gauge to see what the gauge looks like. The gauge was all the way up because I wasn't paying attention to the gauge when I was driving back with my son. So now we got an issue. Don't know what it is. I don't know what pipe got burst around here. I might have to take this intake manifold off, but I'm going to jack it up first. I'm going to get it underneath there. I'm going to rise it up on the lift. I'm going to get underneath there. I'm going to see if I can get to the pipe from here, whichever pipe that is, and see what kind of issue we got, because I don't think it's a thermostat issue. I think it just lost a lot of coolant, so it wasn't giving me any cool hot air in the car or anything like that, but we'll see. All right, get this baby up in the air. Hello mommy, how you doing? All right, so daddy's doing some work here. Alright, I soon get you that. Hold on. Alright. So far I can go under the tent. However, let me see if I can As you can see, there is coolant here. So we come this way and have a look. Aha! There is the culprit. There is the culprit. Right there, guys. See if I can zoom it up. Right there. That hose seems like it's broken off a T, like a T. Let me see. Can you see? Oh yeah, see? It's a T. It's a T joint, like a T coupling, or yeah, whatever. A T connection, I would say. Yeah, that's the issue. So that's what the problem is. All the coolant that was supposed to be circulating around in these pipes has made its way out through the back here. It's not a major issue, so we can hold our breaths. We can release our breaths, I should say. Release our breath, because it's not a major issue. Alright, so alright, I'm gonna take it down. Alright, so yeah, you see, because this intake manual kind of hangs off the back there, as you can see. If you can look down here, you can see where that's where the engine is. That's where the other side of the engine really is. The valve cover. So if I took this off, then I'll be able to get behind there to kind of be able to release those clamps from that T connector and replace it. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So alright, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, building this channel. If you like the videos, you know what you have to do. Alright, so let's see if we can start this. Let me get some tools and get right back. Alright, here we go. So we're going to have to pull off a few stuff here. This is on here. So we have to pull this off here. So in this part of the video, I'll be just pulling off some clips for some wires, and I'm pulling off there's some holes at the back there I need to pull off, trying to get free up some stuff so I can easily get this intake manifold off, because it's a lot of holes on there and a bunch of stuff. So there's that wiring harness, and then there's those bolts for the intake manifold, and there's the intake box right there, those hoses on there. Just trying to get these things removed. So the process of taking off this intake manifold can be easy, but sometimes these little pipes are very fiddly. Sometimes you try not one end and you have to probably use the next end. That's what happens there. And I'm releasing this clamp from the earbox. 10 nuts here by the side right here. Let's see if we can see that right there. One there. We're gonna release those 10 nuts right there. Alright. Maybe just lift this off. so. See what else is holding it. Got a bolt at the back here. Can't remember. 14 bolt or something. Looks like a 14. Let me check. Yep, it's a 14. So we're gonna move in that 14 bolt around there. After moving that 14 bolt, was really hard to maneuver the ratchet around there, but actually get it done in the end. After moving that 10 bolt, I wanted to price it up, but I guess trying to move it without getting off some stuff is gonna be a little bit hard. So we took off most of the other pipes at the top there. They're very the space wasn't enough, to get stuff on. There was a little bracket where that thing is that pull that 10 bolt out the bracket there, trying to get that hose off, right? And then I have to do the far end to the left to get it off of that. Those end was very hard to come off, so I just decided to move on to the left hand side there. It was more easier to get off from there. As you can see, I removed that hose before, then I have to think about trying to get it off, but it was loose enough to come off, but because the piece from the box there was a little bit, and there was a clip over here on this side I need to remove, so I moved that. Got something else that's hooked on. I got a cable for the throttle body here that was stopping it. For the throttle body. See what else is there. Okay, we got a hose under the bottom here. You can see there's a hose under the bottom there. That hose right here. Forgot about that. Think after that, I think that's supposed to be it, Alright. Take that out. Alright. Can't seem to find where my needle nose pliers is. So I got one of these instead. Alright, so there's another hose under there. There is it way down there. Oh boy. Alright, so let's see if I can find a way to get under there to get it out. That's there. Take this plug off or it's in the way. But I think I can reach it with the pliers here. It's crazy else. You're fixing up something, you put these on. I have to take that earbox out because it's too much, you know what I mean, squeezing in areas, you know? I'm gonna take the earbox out because it makes it easier for me. Little plastic thing here. So I decided on taking the earbox out, moving the battery and all that stuff that's there, because it'll be easier to get to all those little holes that's on the throttle body and other stuff that's on over there. It'll be easier to get around to where the pipes are as well. So I got rid of the battery and now I'm getting rid of this box without ripping off this, I guess. Alright, so as you can see, we got way more room around here to take off all these stupid things that are under there. You can see that hose right there, that one right here, this one I should say needs to come off, so we could lift that off. So this looks like leave it. This one right at the top here. There's another hose on the top there. Ridiculous. That right there. That one runs all the way down the, ah, dear boy. There's so much hose on this damn thing. I can't remember that there was so much hose on here. Take off this one and then get the throttle. Oh boy, you're coming a nightmare. So I guess it was easier getting this off and getting the box out. Oh boy. There we go. That should be the last of it. All right. Wow. Crazy, isn't it? 2 hoses on the ear. That was holding us back. So, and this one makes 3. All right, so I get this out of the way, and this was the bolt right here at the back. I was holding it at the back. And that was where it was bolted on, right? That one, that bracket over there. So yeah, just couldn't remember because I actually did this engine replacement, so I kind of knew where a few stuff are, but I didn't remember that there's so much stuff over there. All right, so now let's see where the breakage is, and it's, oh dear, it's behind these ones right here. I'm have to get these out of the way. I might have to take this top one off. and take this one off right here. This hose off and move it out the way so I could get to that one down there, because that's where the braking one is, and then try. Alright. We're gonna take this stuff off first. So trying to get these hoses off now so I could get some room to get behind there, because there's a bunch of wires and hoses. Some of these hoses are very hard to come off. You have to kind of, you know, rock them a little bit to kind of get them moving. So I can get that out of the way, then get that top one off there. Was a little bit tight, but it came off in the end. But I actually kind of squeeze up the pipe, as you can see. I had to kind of, you know, make it back. Here, down, another one right here. Let's see where we are. Zoomed up too much. Alright, so this one right here. That one, we're gonna have to move that right there. So we'll move this out of the way. Alright. Here's the brake pipe right here. This one. So that connector right there. That one. We'll have to take that out. So I'm trying to find a way out to see if I can move that out of the way. Alright, so we're gonna try and get this other one off now. I could try and get it off from down there, but this one is in front of it, and I don't want to break this one too. I may have to just pull this hose off to get to the other one and then try to. It's a bunch of stuff here to do. Alright, try and get this one off here. So I had to pull another hose off the first set that was out above the other set that I need to remove. So I had to take that one off. It was a little bit hard to come off because they are plastic pipe that they use, plastic connector, so it's kind of a little bit hard to wiggle it off. But I actually got it off, and then decided to start on the other one now that I wanted to remove, which is the bottom one there. So if I pull that off, and I can be able to take away the other hose off the actual connector that got damaged. But they were, you know, they were still a little bit hard to come off the plastic, but managed to get it off in the end. Alright, that one is off. Clamp is off, so I'm gonna have to loosen up the hose now. Out of the way. That's out of the way. Let me see what's going on down there. Alright, try and get this hose off. See that? It broke off too. Look, so it was really dry rotten. Really dry rot. Look at that. really dry rotten, man. Take this out of here. Oh no. Look at that. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up. Alright, let's try and get that off there. And see. Alright. Get this clip off. I have to buy 2 of these because just in case the other one go bad. Can get alright, so it's incorporated. Alright, so I don't know why they make these in plastic. Why they couldn't make them in metal? Doesn't make no sense, you know. Alright, so I'll tidy up these two. So I need to get this 3-way connection now, and that should be on our way. Should be on our way with that one. I'm gonna try and find out where I can get that from. If I can get that from KIA, I might have to buy it online. Okay, it's not original, it's universal, but I think it's the same size. Open it up, see what we got. Got this from Advanced Auto. They look the same size to me, but this one is a little bit smaller. Okay, so looks like the right ones. Yeah, these ones are bigger, that ones are smaller. So let's see how this fits. Voila. So what I will do, I'll put this on first, right? Because I don't wanna get into that down there. So I'll put this on first. Put this clip back on right here. All right. And then let me just do a little check to see if everything looks good with it right here. All right, let's see now. So right here, where this one is from, so I'm gonna make sure this spout is angled more that way, because I don't want to force it. I want to strain it, so set it up properly. Alright, so I set it up now. Test fit. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to put this together now, and then we're going to put everything on. Alright, so we're going to get this one on. So the best thing to do, I think, we can wet it up with some of the coolant so it could slip right on easily, so we won't get no problems with it, because these things are a crazy problem. Alright. Alright, so slip that on. Alright. That sounds real good. These clips are so annoying. Alright, top one. Here we go. Alright, and that's that. All hoses are back on. Everything is buttoned up right here, right there. You can see this is the one at the front, and the one behind is the one that we did. Can't even see it now because it's blocked. Right there it is down there. Yeah, everything is all buttoned up. Back now to get on the right. Whew. Those clips are a bastard, I tell you. Alright, so now we're gonna get back our intake manifold. Alright, so I got it. Got it. Now let me just put this back together. Alright guys, so that's it, button up. I'm gonna put the coolant in. I'm gonna start her up, and that should be the end of that. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Here we are. Everything all not leaking. Everything is all buttoned up nice and good from the back here. Just wanted to make sure that it's all good. It's warming up. I'll go into the car and see what the gauge looks like. Alright, the gauge is almost up there. Those codes are something from a bad I think it's a ABS ABS module. I need to get that replaced as well. That's from the time I bought this car. But yeah, as you can see, the temperature gauge is almost up, and I'm gonna check now that it is gonna be hot. That's all high. Make sure change the mode to the front, and lovely, heat is here. We're hot. We're now hot. Yep, we are now hot. Alright guys, like, share, subscribe. You know what to do.